Welcome to Space Matrix. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. The salt spray clung to the steel hull of the USS John S. McCain as it cut through the South China Sea. On the horizon, a shape emerged. The CNS Changsha, a Chinese destroyer. Two warships, two nations, converging in a silent ballet of power. The air on the bridge was electric. This was more than routine. American sailors checked their stations, eyes glued to radar and comms. The Changsha mirrored every move, a shadow refusing to yield. The ocean felt small, the world shrinking to this single point of confrontation. On board the Changsha, Chinese sailors watched the Americans with equal intensity. Their commander saw the McCain as an intruder, a challenge to sovereignty. The message was clear. Turn back, this is our domain. The distance closed to a few hundred yards, uncomfortably close. Faces were visible across the water, young men serving their countries, now pawns in a larger game. The sun glared off steel, but a chill ran through those who knew how quickly this could turn deadly. The world wasn't watching yet, but it soon would be. Two steel leviathans, locked in a war of nerves. The standoff had begun. Why here? The South China Sea is a global artery. Trillions in trade pass through every year. For the US, it's about freedom of navigation and keeping sea lanes open. For China, it's sovereignty, history, and security. The 9-dash line is their claim. Artificial islands, military outposts, and overlapping claims make this sea a flashpoint. The US sees a global commons, China sees its backyard. Beneath the waves, oil, gas, and resources both sides covet. Each ship is an extension of national will, navigating not just water but geopolitics. The South China Sea is more than water, it's a stage for the future of the global order. Every patrol, every standoff is a test of resolve. The fate of this region could define the world's next era. That's why the McCain and Changsha sail so close. Escalation can happen in a blink, a sudden turn, a misread signal, a deliberate provocation. One aggressive maneuver and a captain has seconds to decide, yield, or risk collision. Every move is a potential spark. A Chinese jet buzzes the McCain, the US radar locks on in response, a digital warning shot. The pilot's cockpit lights up, but orders are to hold position. This is how escalation climbs, step by step. Human error lurks, a nervous sailor, a garbled message, a misinterpreted blip. Commanders operate under immense pressure, guessing intentions with limited info. One wrong move could ripple across the globe. Even a fishing boat or a mistaken sonar ping could trigger disaster. Every incident is a probe, a test of limits. In these waters, the line between routine and conflict is razor thin. It could be crossed by accident or design. Steady as she goes, Captain Eva Rostova ordered, eyes fixed on the Chinese destroyer. Her duty, uphold freedom of navigation. Her responsibility, bring her crew home. On the Changsha, Commander Li Wei watched the American captain, a symbol of foreign challenge. He felt the weight of history and national pride. He would not show weakness. On deck, Petty Officer Marcus Thorne felt the tension. He joined to see the world, not play chicken with a superpower. He exchanged a nervous glance with a friend. The other ship's sailors looked just like them. Communication channels were open, but silent. This was a conversation of maneuvers, not words. Both captains faced the same dilemma: de-escalate and risk appearing weak, or hold firm and risk disaster. They were professionals, but also human, caught in a storm not of their making. The next minutes could pull the world back from the brink, or push it over. The weight of that choice was immense. Every decision mattered. The world was watching, the bridge was silent, but the stakes were deafening. News of the standoff spread, first online, then across global headlines. In Tokyo, Seoul, Manila, governments held emergency meetings fearing regional war. Markets plunged, oil prices spiked, and the global economy trembled. The standoff was no longer remote. It threatened millions of livelihoods. At the UN, diplomats scrambled, urging restraint and de-escalation. The Security Council convened in urgent session, the chamber tense. The crisis tested the strength of international institutions. Around the world, people watched the two warships on their screens, an abstract threat made real. Social media buzzed with fear and speculation. The standoff was a global event, uniting the world in anxiety. Two ships, two nations, and the fate of millions hanging in the balance. The world held its breath. The situation stood at a crossroads: escalation or resolution. One path, a collision, a warning shot, a missile lock. Retaliation would follow and war could spread. Allies might be drawn in, economies shattered, the unthinkable unleashed. The other path, a step back. A quiet order, a deliberate turn, space created. The crisis averted, but the underlying conflict unresolved. Diplomacy would follow: calls, secret meetings, new protocols. China would not abandon its claims, the US would not stop its patrols. But the world would step back from the brink. Both sides would recognize the need for guardrails and dialogue. The choice rested on leaders in Washington and Beijing, and on the judgment of two captains at sea. The stakes: war or peace, the decision: escalation or restraint. The world watched, waiting. The next move would shape history. The crossroads was now. In the end, the crisis was averted. The Changsha altered course. The McCain followed. The space between them grew, and tension eased. The silent conversation was over, for now. The incident was a stark reminder. Peace is fragile, and our fates are intertwined. A dispute in distant waters can threaten the world. The lesson: clear communication, rules, and diplomacy are essential. The hope for peace lies in dialogue, not dominance. Leaders must build trust and create off-ramps before crisis erupts. The sailors wanted to go home, not to war. As the ships sailed away, the questions lingered. Can great powers coexist? Can we build a resilient global system? The answer is uncertain, but hope depends on choosing dialogue over confrontation. The sea is vast enough for all, if we have the wisdom to share it.